Guys, thank you for being here. So as a coach, I've been a part of games where we've been down by more points than that. We've won, but I don't think I've ever been part of a win where we just struggled so much in the first half, and it didn't feel like anything, was going our way. But our guys really stuck with it. They were determined, and we were a determined basketball team in the second half. I did think that Brent Petty's energy in the first half, those were the most important 3 minutes in our season.
It's very similar to the Mass game, the last game here at home, where you second half, you adjust, and then you use that three-point shot.
Yeah, I would say the level of frustration here in this game was a lot higher in the first half, simply because we didn't make free throws, we couldn't make any perimeter shots. Defensively, we ended up kind of just trying to figure out who we were. But you're right, we shot the ball much better in both games in the second half, and it's very important for us to be successful.
Is that what you work on a lot? I'm sorry, Brent. Is that what you guys work on a lot in practice, that type of play?
Yeah, we really don't have much opportunity to practice. We've got 6 bodies,
right?
And so practice is very limited these days. We do shoot a lot of threes, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
That's what our style has been here for 2.5 years, and we're going to continue to be a team that recruits shooters and spreads the court and shoots threes. But you're right, in the second half of this game and the UMass game, those threes have started to go in.
Yep.
Coach, how frustrated were you when George Mason went on that huge run in the first half? They went on, I believe it was a 21-0 run. In your mind, did you feel like, man, it's going to be a real tough one, and I don't know if we're going to get out of this?
Well, my message to the team during that segment was that they had to do it. And that's not the first time that I've said that to them. And the UMass game came up earlier. When our guys played so well in the second half of the UMass game, they did it. They went out and played, and they were relentless and determined. So the point is, it certainly was a segment of basketball that was not very appealing, and it wasn't very satisfying, but our guys did stick with it.
And how much do you feel the comeback was more so mental as opposed to being physical in this game? Just believing that they could win this game.
Yeah, I think determination is a big part. Emotion is a part of athletics, sports, basketball, and so you're right. It's not just how strong you are. It's not just how smart you are. There's also this emotional aspect that did show up for us at some point tonight.
Coach, it seems like that the bigger the role is for Ege, the more he steps up. You played him 40 minutes for 3 games in a row now, and I think this was the best game that I've seen him play in his career. He didn't play as much earlier in the season with the injuries. How did you expect this from him? How has he progressed?
Ege did the same thing for us last year, where he came on late in the season. He didn't play in maybe the first 12 or 14 games last season, but he stayed with it. And he really was important to us down the stretch last year, playing major minutes. And so you're right, he's played 120 minutes over the last 3 games, and I would expect him to continue to play because he's playing the right way. He's making good decisions. He's making a shot when he's open, and then his effort and his brain are really helping us to compete.
Yeah, Coach, you're going down the stretch now. You issued this last week. It's 7 games left, and you win here at home like this again. You did last week, almost a similar way. What is that doing for this team?
I think you asked me a similar question last Saturday, and my answer was, we'll see. And we went to St. Louis, and obviously St. Louis is athletic and talented, and we weren't very good against them. So, again, hopefully it's something we can build on. I do think our guys will realize that they never ever should go away. And maybe the good thing is that we actually do have a game in about 3 days. Yeah. We don't have a week off.
You put a lot of pressure, ball pressure on Livingston today. You held him under his average. You held him to 10 misses from the floor. He turned the ball over 4 times. Is that part of your game plan today?
Well, so Otis Livingston is as talented a guard as there is in this league, and what makes him so good is he can not only score, but he can score off the dribble. And so we had to pay a lot of attention to him. So other guys on their team did get some open shots that maybe other coaches or other teams wouldn't want to give up. But we really just felt committed to doing everything we could to slow Otis Livingston down. I thought he played really well considering how much attention we gave to him. He is a really good player.
How important is it for Slaney to get going? Because I noticed that he's one of your best players. You know, he's a pretty good post player, and he can shoot the three. How important is it for a guy like him to get going, and how much of it helps the team?
Yeah, so the short answer is when you're only playing 6 guys major minutes, it's important for all of them to get going. But the phrase that I've given Prokop, and this was over a month ago, he is the center of our universe. Like, he is important. And so, you know, it's like asking how important is the sun. The sun's pretty important in this world.
From the floor, Will had a tough game today, but he stuck it out. He grabbed 11 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. How important was he today, despite not being as good from the floor?
Yeah, so, you know, I think both Will and Joe would tell you that they didn't have their best games they've ever played. But when I talk about the resiliency, relentlessness, the stick-to-itiveness, I think Will and Joe really exemplified what we're talking about. So, you know, those are 2 of the guys that really struggled in the first half, especially with turnovers. And then the second half, I think as a team, we only had 2 turnovers.
Going into Duquesne, that wasn't the best game in the first matchup here at Rose Hill. What adjustments are you planning on making for the return trip?
Yeah, I don't remember that game exactly, other than I think that's the game that early in the game Will got injured.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's not an excuse. You know, teams all over the country are dealing with injuries. But all I'm saying is that was one of the obstacles we had to overcome in that game, and we did not do it very well. So, you know, we'll see what the challenge is come Saturday. But our guys learned a lot about sticking to it and sticking with it here today.
What do you tell a guy like Will Tavares when he goes into these shooting slumps like he did in the first half?
Yeah, you know, the right answer is, or the correct answer is, I didn't say anything to him. You know, as a 3-point shooter, Will's had a tough year. And unfortunately, that's now carrying over to his free throws. And he struggled there at the free throw line the last few games. So, you know, Will is our leading scorer for the season. He has been consistent for us all season. And any success that we find here down the stretch, Will is going to be a big part of it.
Coach, 3 for 16 from 3-point land in the first half, and 10 for 21 in the second half. I think it was more a matter of just getting better looks, or maybe the team just found a rhythm and just rolled with it.
I actually thought our looks in the first half were great.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe I'll look at the film and maybe I'll see something different. You know, we did talk about emotion, and so emotionally in the second half, you know, that probably helped the ball to go in. But I thought our looks in the first half were great.